Yeah, rivals, it's a dangerous guy because it's a boxing. One punch, go home. This is dangerous, man. I know, but.
So therefore, the only way, if anyone is to beat him, is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk.
One number 2 in these defenses.
Yeah.
Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taken like, all right, who's the next in line? All right, I'm fighting him.
Yeah.
That's the way he's doing it.
During a live interview, Oleksandr Usyk boldly made fun of Floyd Mayweather by claiming that he had defeated the greatest opponents in his life. He went on to say that he still thinks he has superior legs than him at this point in his career. Usyk's remark wasn't only lighthearted. It was a daring reminder of the level of competition he had to face to get to the top, and his exceptional conditioning.
Don't be afraid.
Good evening, hope you're enjoying our Monday night football coverage. Oleksandr Usyk, not a bad striker in his time. Thierry and Jamie are in studio. If you were fighting Thierry Henry, how would you get inside of his head?
Yeah, Thierry is great player, but hey, Thierry, my legs be better with you. Thierry, don't be afraid. My legs better.
What'd you make of that?
Sometimes you have to stay in your lane, and I will stay in my lane.
With just abouts left until he hangs up his gloves, Oleksandr Usyk is nearing the end of his career. The boxing community is buzzing with expectation as a result of this. Fighters, fans, and experts are all eagerly awaiting his next move. His next opponent, whomever it is, will share the limelight after such a remarkable run. There is a great deal of excitement around his next bouts, with boxing fans anxious to witness how a generational star completes his career.
From Usyk that he's got 2 more fights in the bag at this point, that you reckon, yeah?
I interviewed him before. I sat down with him and had a chat with him before the Dubois fight. And yeah, he was just like, I've got 2 fights left.
So he's never fought in the Ukraine, he's never fought in his home country, or defended his title, I should say. So that's got to be on his wish list.
I would imagine so, but with what's going on in this country, it's just a disgrace. It's still going on. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, no. But hopefully we'll get some peace there, and then maybe he will get
I'd love to, I'd love to see peace in his country and for him and his family. And that would be an amazing event.
The WBO has now formally ordered Oleksandr Usyk to defend his undisputed heavyweight championship against interim champion Joseph Parker, amid a number of match choices around him as his illustrious career draws to a close, with 30 days for both parties to come to an agreement. Before a purse split is initiated, this game has rapidly acquired pace. Parker has gained support from supporters, commentators, and even legendary fighters like Lennox Lewis. As a result of his recent victories against Deontay Wilder and Martin McCall, Frank Warren, the promoter, has supported the fight because he believes it would be the ideal test for Usyk before he quits fighting.
My gut feeling is that Joseph Parker fights for the WBO belt, but he doesn't fight Oleksandr Usyk. He fights the next man up. I haven't got the list in front of me, so I don't know the rankings. So I guess if you're Joseph Parker, the question is, I mean, what is it you want? Ultimately, if you want a world title shot and you think you've been blackballed from getting a world title shot or pushed to the back, then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number 1 for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened.
The rising star in the boxing world, Hayo Pataya, has publicly expressed his respect for Usyk and want to spar with him. He considers Usyk to be a defining character of this generation as well as a great champion. The fact that Apataya wants to take on such a legend shows how Usyk has influenced the younger generation of artists. This kind of battle would connect to distinct eras of boxing supremacy and serve as a symbolic and competitive link.
I know a goal of yours is to go to heavyweight. You're giving me a little smirk. Like, is that like a dream scenario for you to fight one of those 2 guys?
I would love to fight Usyk, you know, respectfully. You know, I've always been so close to him. You know what I mean? Like I was But I was 16 years old. I qualified for the Olympics. I competed at 17, little kid, and he won that Olympic Games. Like, I've always been there, you know what I mean? I've always just been, it wasn't my time yet, you know, but I feel like my time's coming.
Boldly entering the ring against the most fearsome opponents in the heavyweight class, Oleksandr Usyk has created an incredible legacy. Instead of choosing safe battles, Usyk went up to heavyweight and looked for the hardest challenges possible. In contrast to many greats who spent the most of their careers in smaller weight divisions, experts underline that this change was not just audacious, but also momentous. Usyk's victory is over Tyson Fury, who was previously thought to be practically invincible, are a potent illustration of his supremacy at the highest level.
Is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk, who is fighting big men, sometimes giving up 40-pound weight advantages. And unfortunately, that does mean that if Oleksandr Usyk goes on for 4, 5, 6 more fights, of course, he is going to be defeated, in my opinion. But I would love that to not be the case. I would love it to not be the case. What I would love to be the case right now, as a boxing fan, is Oleksandr Usyk to walk off into the sunset. I think he's proven everything that he could possibly prove. And there's been debates, and especially I remember after the first few Joshua fights, there were debates over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield.
Not only does Usyk have an undefeated record, but the way he accomplished it also sets him apart from his contemporaries. He accepted risk rather than shunned it. Every opponent posed a threat, and every venue was fierce. Usyk, however, delivered with unparalleled ring knowledge, composure, and brilliance. He has continuously outperformed giants in his footwork and tactical flexibility, converting skeptics into believers. These days, Usyk's name is far more significant than championships or medals. He is more than just a champion. He is a symbol of greatness and bravery. Usyk towers higher than others in a sport where reputation is frequently linked to resume strength because of when and how he achieved it, not simply because of who he beat.
It's over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield. Listen, that argument, a lot of people wanted to rubbish that at first. That argument is a real argument that can be made now, because when you look at what Oleksandr Usyk's done, remember Evander Holyfield was in a cruiserweight division that I'm not going to say was in its infancy, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in. The cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in, I believe, was a more stacked, more competitive cruiserweight division. And the way Usyk left that division, he left it by cleaning it out. The World Boxing Super Series tournament was something that actually got the best fighting the best and got the best names coming into it and entering, and we weren't really seeing that at the time.
Floyd Mayweather has long been considered his generation's pound-for-pound champion, praised for his perfect technique, outstanding defensive play, and perfect record. His reputation as one of boxing's greatest fighters was solidified by his supremacy in several weight divisions, but in the modern era, Oleksandr Usyk has become a deserving opponent, making analogies that few believed were feasible. Usyk is currently considered the modern pound-for-pound force of this age, due to his victories against top heavyweights and uncontested titles in several classes. Even if Usyk and Mayweather's long-anticipated fight materialized as an exhibition, it would be more than just a show. Two entirely distinct styles and legacies would collide.
I think Floyd is one of the worst fighters ever. That's my hot take on Floyd. Now let me stop trolling. Now that I got y'all baited in. I think we always say like, oh, how great Floyd is. But when you really sit there and think about it, Floyd was really special. Like, when we talk about generational, it's going to be a very, very, very long time till we see Floyd. Like, Pernell was great. He was a great defensive wizard. Pernell trapped himself a lot. He was able to find himself out of his own traps. Pernell would give up outside lead foot position to a lot of big punchers, and he was still able to be elusive and get away. That's impressive. Floyd would sit on the ropes against guys like Canelo, Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Cotto, and either evade every shot or get away. Generation, like, Floyd is crazy. He's not my favorite fighter. He's far from my favorite, but I mean, I think he's the best pound-for-pound fighter of all time. I don't think there's much debate for it. Did Floyd fight everybody he was supposed to? No, we got to be honest. He just didn't. Most people don't. Did Floyd fight everybody at their best? No, that's impossible. Was Floyd the most slippery, defensively sound, technical boxers of all time? Hell yeah. Like I said, I'm not the hugest Floyd fan, but I just sit here watch him dominate my boy Canelo. You guys know Canelo, he's one of my favorite, but God, Floyd, different type of boxer, you know. We hated him when he was here. I kind of miss Floyd now.
Weary as Usyk is characterized by movement, pressure, and mental acuity. Floyd's legacy is based on control and accuracy. Hard struggles and continuous ascension have been the foundation of Usyk's journey. He has never settled for simple routes. Usyk thrives in high-risk combat. Whereas Mayweather displayed elegance and precision, Usyk's destruction of Daniel Dubois simply confirmed what fans already knew. He dominates with intelligence, not simply by winning. Despite Dubois' size and power, Usyk was useless because to his timing, footwork, and strategy. The performance demonstrated how intelligent people can surpass brawn. Usyk's record wasn't boosted by this victory. It strengthened his reputation as a fighter who always uses superior technique and mental acuity to overcome physical disadvantages.
Up in different directions. Even I wasn't sure because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where, you know, overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. You know, Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age and whatnot, you know. So you know, you could get where all of a sudden, you know, it's not there on the night. So and you know, you had
heavyweights takes 1 second. One split second, you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second, you know, who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But, you know, Usyk, you know, flawless performance technically, you know, stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm-wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he slides that weak side, slides that weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, you know, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because you start backing him up, you start putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend, he breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know,
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got up. You waited to 10, and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10, and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize, like, I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first knockdown. You saw his spirit leave his body. Not as if he's dying. I mean, his fighting spirit just completely leave his body. Yeah. And we've seen that before. It happened the last time. And a lot of people were asking me during fight week. They're like, "Hey, man, Dubois looks really good. What do you think?" I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Turki Alalshikh is credited with facilitating high-profile fights and has emerged as a prominent and player in contemporary boxing. His presence has sparked rumors that even the biggest dream bouts, like Mayweather's improbable comeback to take on Usyk, may happen, even if the chances are low. These promoters' impact cannot be disregarded. Someone with a lost reach and a reputation for organizing big events is the one who might bring to icons from separate realms together in the ring.
Turki Alalshikh might be the only billionaire I truly like. Don't get me wrong, if you're a billionaire, you're probably hiding some pretty shady stuff, not gonna lie. But this dude is a G. If you know, you know. This guy is a huge combat sports fan. Mostly boxing. This guy does everything he can to try and create the best boxing events in the world. Dude uses his money for the power of good by creating the most testosterone, aura-filled boxing matches imaginable. And after, it seems like forever, months, maybe even years of him trying to get Canelo Alvarez to fight Terrence Crawford, he finally penciled it in. He got it done a couple months ago. Here's why I'm making this video. Turki Alalshikh, I fucking love this guy. If either one of these two guys win by knockout, he's going to give out a huge bonus to him. It's important to note that this isn't going to be like a $50,000 bonus that they have in the UFC. We're talking Saudi oil money. Expect millions and millions of dollars. This is a quote by him. We will not have Tom and Jerry fights anymore. We will have in this fight and in our next fights a bonus for a KO. Thank God. The biggest reason why I'm more of an MMA fan, and even a bare knuckle fan, than boxing is because I'm tired of the dancing. 12 rounds of just dancing. It literally puts you to sleep. And the last boxing event I paid for, I don't even remember the dude's freaking name. It was the last guy I think Canelo Alvarez fought. I don't even care to know his name. All the dude did was dance around for 12 rounds just to lose. He didn't do anything. It was one of the worst fights ever. Everybody thought they got scammed because they had to pay money for that. Even Turki Alalshikh was pissed. You could see it because he's done with this crap. He's done. He's finally putting an end to this. He's going to be giving out probably $1 million bonuses for every time somebody gets knocked out. Thank God. All right? Now I'm actually excited for this fight.